Right now, institutions unfortunately act as if AI does not exist,
Yeah.
right? You have institutions banning the use of ChatGPT.
Yes.
You have, it's turning a blind eye to the inevitable,
Yeah.
which is not the kind of right way to go about this.
Yeah.
What you need is a balance between optimizing AI to a degree where it's able to teach the student instead of giving it the answer. AI is the largest leveler of education. The best education that someone can get, especially in a country like India, in the next 10 years, won't be so much higher than the least level of education someone can get in India. Eventually, my guess and hope is that AI surpasses human intelligence.
Everyone, welcome back to Stories of IITM BS. Today we are with Abu. So hi Abu, it's so great to have you here. Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Hello, thank you for having me on first of all. I'm Abu Syed. I'm the founder of Metacog. We build developer tools for educational AI. I'm also a student here at the BS degree program, pursuing data science. And as for the research itself, I'm also an independent researcher, and my paper recently got accepted by AAI 2026, the AI workshop.
Okay, great Abu. Abu, can you tell us like from where you got to know about this degree?
The degree program.
Yeah.
Right. Well, honestly, it was a reference from my dad, honestly. Actually, it's pretty natural that I chose this degree because the main reason is that AI had just taken over.
Yeah.
This was a time when AI took over and data science was the most critical subject.
Yeah.
And for us to have access to that from IIT Madras, it was a natural choice.
Yeah.
So, but it was a reference from my dad actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well mentioned. Like it's a natural choice only for many of the students who are pursuing this. Data science is in boom right now. Okay, Abu. Like talking about your research paper has recently got selected for Triple AI conference. You know, like 2026, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about this paper. What is this all about? Like on artificial intelligence, you had this.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the paper. My paper is about TEAS, which is the Trusted Educational AI Standard. It's a framework that I put out for what AI should be for education, particularly. And the truth is, AI has come as a literal blessing for education in terms of leveling the playing field for everyone. And for us to have democratized access, AI has to satisfy certain requirements. The TEAS framework that I propose outlines all of those requirements, and I'm hoping that policymakers, as well as engineers, as well as institutions adopt this framework for them to evaluate which AI is best, and not just in terms of model. I'm talking about pipelines, which technology works best for them, architecture works best for them, and to evaluate, it's a rubric for evaluation for institutions, policymakers, and engineers alike.
Okay.
Especially for educational AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, what do you think? What is the main key factor which stood out this research paper?
The main factor is that it is an intersection amongst multiple domains. Like to actually give a brief prelude to how I came about this. I have been homeschooled since I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to quit school for a few reasons, and I've been homeschooled since then. And as such, a lot of the frameworks that I developed have all been independently developed. And because I didn't have a certain, framework to follow, like what a school gives you or what college gives you. And as such, what I realized was that that has become the norm now. Before it was a bit of a taboo, that has become the norm now.
Yeah.
And due to this, I think a lot of people who are studying independently, like for example, if you're pursuing this degree, you're by default an independent student, right? You're not following a college structure or anything like that. You're studying on your own with high agency. And essentially, my prediction is that agency will explode. People will be high agency everywhere. And as such, you need educational AI that understands the changing contexts and acts and teaches tutors accordingly. That's basically what educational AI should be. That in its current state, it's not the case because right now, institutions assume that they unfortunately act as if AI does not exist.
Yeah.
Right? You have institutions banning the use of ChatGPT.
Yes.
You have, it's turning a blind eye to the inevitable,
Yeah.
which is not the kind of right way to go about this.
Yeah.
So, but their paranoia is understandable, right? If you're an institution and your students are using ChatGPT to complete homeworks, you don't want
It's
that,
not a
right?
good way. Yes.
So, what you need is a balance between optimizing AI to a degree where it's able to teach the student instead of giving it the answer, while at the same time, for institutions also adopt AI instead of shy away from it. So the use of AI, but to capped to a certain degree. That cap is determined by the TEAS framework.
Yeah.
So where that cap lives, that is what the TEAS framework determines. So a lot of it has been distillation of my own independent experience and research. And I think that's where I think we're going to see a lot of growth in the future when it comes to education AI.
Of course, yeah. Well mentioned, like there is a need of balance between its use. Like you have to whether use it in a correct way or like you have to use for the assignments and all. Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
Totally agree. Abu, was it your first research paper or you have already done so many research paper earlier? If you want to mention any of the research paper done earlier.
This is my first published research paper. I have done research before, but I have not published them either for IP reasons, because a lot of the research I did under my startup.
Okay.
And which is why I didn't want to publish a lot of them. But this is my first published research paper because realistically, I want this framework to be out there so that it's adopted globally without any IP restrictions or anything like that. But this is my first published research paper. But the good thing is, I mentioned, no, I was homeschooled since 14.
Yeah.
So naturally, I had other time to do other things. So
Yes.
my dad has been in academic publishing. So he taught me academic publishing. So I got to work with researchers and institutions, publishers, way before I started research itself.
Okay.
So I got familiarized with the concept of academic publishing and also research.
Nice.
And this helped me really, if once you're familiarized with the ecosystem, it's much easier to catch on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I did. And yeah, research, right now we are at an era of permissionless research. Right? Don't need anyone's permission for you to conduct research, especially independent research.
Yes.
So I think that's I'm lucky to be alive, I guess, during this time where independent research is a viable option.
Yes. Yeah. There is no any type of restriction for the independent research papers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Abhi, you had your family from starting only. You got that type of environment. But what suggestion would you like to give a foundation level student who really want to write some of the paper and want to publish them also? So what exact roadmap would you like to give them?
Quite honestly, I think let's start from the basic level, right? It is, you need to first of all foster an environment of, at the very basic level, agency. I think agency is the name of the game from 2025 onward. Intelligence is there, it exists, and it has been democratized. Anyone can access ChatGPT, anyone can access your latest Claude, Gemini models, right? Intelligence is on tap. Agency is the name of the game from now on. So for you to be highly agent, for any person to be highly agent, is for them to be highly independent.
Yeah.
Right? So first of all, you have to believe that independent research is a viable option. See, basic step. And the next step is, like I mentioned, permissionless research. Before, you need to have a lab coat, you need to go to a lab to do research, you need to have funding, all of these things.
Yes.
Today, with the help of AI, with the help of the internet's proliferation, with the help of even this BS degree program, wherein you get access to IITM's ecosystem without without a lot of the prerequisites that are required to enter such an ecosystem maybe 5 years ago. With such extreme proliferation of options for independence, I think independent research is a no-brainer. You just so that's the second step. It is to be permissionless, and it also is to be independent.
Yeah.
And the next step would be for you to have guidance, be open to getting guidance from professors, from other researchers. I mean, I think, okay, here's the best, I think most simple way. Just go to the nearest university, or ideally you can go to the best university you can go to, but whatever is close to you, attend a poster presentation or a paper presentation. There's your inspiration. There you go. You can just start working on top of that. Just attend a poster presentation and get an idea of how others do things. And this is democratized. Anyone can just go to any university's poster presentation, any university's paper presentation. Every year they conduct it. So just go to one and just see how people do it. And once you do that, you get an idea of, because without seeing all of the ecosystem, what you think is, oh wow, this is something that's beyond me, right?
Yeah.
It is really
that's
not.
the point.
It's really not.
It is really not.
Go to a paper presentation, go to a poster presentation, you'll get an idea of, okay, maybe I can do this. Can start working on it, and just and another thing would be, keep your research, at least at the initial stages, anchored to applications. So whatever can be applied is much easier to research than something that is extremely abstract or theory based. So I mean, this doesn't apply to every researcher. If you're in a PhD environment, that's completely different. But application, at least in today's environment, especially in AI research, is where everything is at right now. So yeah.
Totally understandable. Like you have mentioned very well at each step what you have to do. And the main important thing is you have to start first.
Exactly.
Don't think and it will be done and all.
Yeah.
Totally understand it. Okay, Abu, like you have mentioned in starting only about your startup like Metacog and KCS is also there. Tell us about that startup.
Right. Metacog, like I mentioned, it's a company, it's a startup where we build developer tools for educational AI. So right now we're operating in a world where educational AI theoretically exists, but for it to be deployed, it requires a lot of guardrails.
Yes.
Because you have, it ranges from simple misinformation to straight up hallucination that will ruin a student's career and exam preparation and all these things. So to essentially TEAS also, I think a lot of the work that I do kind of feed into each other. So the TEAS framework helped me refine Metacog a bit more, and Metacog helped other ventures. So they kind of feed into each other. But the main idea behind Metacog is guardrails for educational AI. Right? Yes, guardrails for educational AI, so that you can, and this is all delivered through an API, so that anybody can just call it. Anyone who's building an educational AI product, and they're building on top of authoritative knowledge, they're building on top of any knowledge layer, the guardrails still remain the same. The hallucinations are reduced, the risk of it revealing the answer is reduced, because a bit of technical background in this is that a lot of the models that exist today are trained on something called reinforcement learning, RL.
Yes.
Yeah.
So RL is like buzzword nowadays.
Yeah. And RL is, it basically incentivizes AI to say the right answer, as opposed to teach the student the right answer. So since a lot of them are trained on reinforcement learning, they tend to reveal the answer a lot instead of teaching the students Socratically. So what you have to do with one of the modules of Metacog, what it does is you have to pluck out the weights that discuss RL or that are trained on RL. And this is just an analogy. You have to pluck out the weights that are trained on RL and make the AI more Socratic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So that's one of the modules that you're building. And another venture is Acad Alt, which literally expands to academic alt text.
Yeah.
Just to give a prelude, alt text is an accessibility tool that helps. I'll restart. Acad Alt Text is an accessibility suite that helps students with visual impairment and blindness study advanced STEM content, right? And main thing I think that relates to educational AI in this context is that LLMs are naturally, even reasoning models are naturally hallucination prone.
Yes.
So what we've had to do with Acad Alt Text is build systems, guardrails and everything to reduce hallucination for especially a highly advanced STEM content. This is mathematical equations, LaTeX content, and all of these things. So I think that venture fed into Metacog, the research fed into Metacog. So that's where all of this is. KCS is our publishing division, which right now, since you're bootstrapped, it generates a lot of the revenue that we are feeding into Metacog and Acad Alt Text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Like many of your works are related to artificial intelligence only. So when we see like in upcoming 10 years or upcoming 12 years, what role you are seeing of artificial intelligence in education sector?
Like I mentioned, AI is the largest leveler of education. The best education that someone can get, especially in a country like India, in the next 10 years, won't be so much higher than the least level of education someone can get in India.
Oh, yes.
And that's a very important point because you shouldn't do this. You should do this.
Just go
yeah, you have to be. So that's basically what AI has done.
Yeah.
So a lot of the curriculum, it is critical thinking based, can be applied to the less advantaged students, the less privileged students, and contexts where that seemingly have been, I'm trying to put this as politely as possible, overlooked, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So these students, like a majority of students in India, especially those availing government education, they're like, for example, I was homeschooled, I mentioned, right? So I wrote at a board called NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling. And before when I was in school, I was educated through IGCSE, which is a Cambridge University-based education.
Okay.
So I was able to see the bridge between the two, right?
Yes.
This is much higher. It's very, very metacognitive. It's very, very critical thinking based. I think the reason open boards are this way is not because of, they don't want to make it this way. It's just that they are highly resource constrained, and there are a lot of socioeconomic factors into play that come into education. What AI does is basically it has crashed the market to pennies on the dollar, right? The cost of education is going to reduce drastically, and as such, you're going to see a lot of, a lot of this is ideally a lot of this level up, exactly. And I think another word I mentioned is metacognition, as the company name, Metacog. Metacognition is basically the act of learning how you learn, right? So I think we're going to have to go back to first principles in terms of how do humans learn, because eventually my guess and hope is that AI surpasses human intelligence as it stands today. So humans have to, you're essentially not just, we need to be symbiotic with AI. For us to be able to do that, this has to happen again. So again, they kind of feed into each other. AI teaching us teaching AI, and education as a whole is going to be completely restructured in the way that it exists today. I think the BS degree program is a great example of that. Exactly, yeah.
Great example.
So it is a high agency degree. The reason I say agency is because it's such an important concept to understand,
Yes, yes.
especially in the context of India, wherein, we tend to follow certain frameworks, certain, rules, certain social norms, okay?
Yes.
That is going to completely change. Wherein, you
Yeah.
can say, I'm a BS degree program student, you still get the same respect as
Yes.
you would in a normal standard college. So that's basically where we are right now. And so metacognition is we need to go back to first principles. We need pedagogical researchers, we need AI researchers to go back to first principles and think what does it actually mean to learn. We need to inculcate more critical thinking based education as opposed to a lot of rote memorization and a lot of, I guess, we ourselves are somehow trained us on reinforcement learning. I don't
Yes.
think that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
We need to get more creative with our learning. That's basically where we are at right now.
Okay. Great. You have mentioned it very well. Like one point I got from there is that, yeah, AI is going to reduce the gap between that thing. Like it is going to be available for all the less privileged students out there. Yeah. Totally agree. So, Abu, like apart from this, you have also worked as a content creator in Research Park. What
Yeah.
was the reason behind that? Like, was it because of your interest or something, or other than that?
Quite honestly, it is just interest. And I love learning about startups. I love learning about
Okay.
other startups.
Yeah.
And, we can relate in this way. It was very similar to this, where I would go on interview startups in Research Park,
Okay,
at an incubator in Research Park, and see how they work, how they operate. And then it's free learning, right? And it's free learning for me, for everyone else as well.
Yes.
So that's basically, I always have a tendency towards media and the creative industry also.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. That's mainly the reason why. But yeah, I think it is true what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Getting
Similar to
people
that
on
only.
and then teaching others. Same
Yeah.
way.
It's actually a great experience. Like you got to know about so many people, so many things are there to learn. Yeah. And I'm learning also right now. Is
Yeah,
the
that's
way
great.
on the process. Yeah. Okay, Abu, like what you're doing many things at the same time. You have so many startups also, like 1 or 2 startups there. You're writing research paper also, and you're pursuing this degree also. So is it manageable at the same time or hectic also?
Yeah, it is hectic. It's
Yeah.
pretty hectic, but I think first of all, it's a good problem to have. It's a privilege to be able to do so many things
Yes,
at the
yes,
same
yes.
time. It's to be able to. I'm beyond grateful for. It's a good problem to have. The fact that it's hectic, but I think a lot of what's helped me through the whole thing is building systems. So I have very strict systems that I try to comply with. And for example, when there is an exam in the BS degree program, I don't focus on anything else. I let all my clients know I won't be available for the next few days, and I won't go to the team. I won't, I go to the office also.
Yes.
And when I'm, let's say, for example, traveling for research, like I'm presenting the paper in Singapore,
Yes, yes.
I let my clients know of that as well. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have good team members and clients who are high agency,
Yes.
who don't need my input during the time that I'm not available,
They're
for them
working
to
by
continue working on it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
I think it's systems that help me manage them, but also I am very lucky to have such a great team and such a great set of clients, such a great set of people who support me around. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, a day can be hectic, but at the end of the day, you are going to feel like, yeah, it went well and something
Exactly.
I got from there.
Yeah.
Yes. One thing also, like any subject or concept that you have used while writing your research paper from our degree, BS in data science.
I think, I can say like, deep learning, generative AI, all of these things. But ultimately, the subject that everything is anchored to, everything, is linear algebra. I think
Yes.
it is amazing how much the degree has taught me about linear algebra. Because any subject, like right now, I'm doing some research on cryptography and AI and cryptography. And what I'm learning there is everything is based in linear algebra there also.
Oh.
And any allied subject, everything is based in linear algebra. So foundations, right? The most fundamental foundations, I think it really helped me ground those foundations at a less of like, okay, memorize these formulas and get through them. Instead of doing that, what it did to me is they said, well, these are the applications of linear algebra. You learn from them, and then you reverse engineer it and apply it to whatever you're working on.
Yeah.
So I think the way the curriculum is structured for the BS degree program really is, again, it's anchored to applications, so that it makes it much easier to learn
Yes.
as opposed to just rote memorization or formulas. So yeah, again, there's a lot of great subjects throughout the degree. The most important one to me anyway is linear algebra, the foundation, first principles.
Great. Yeah, and right mentioned about the applications also. There are so many projects also in our diploma level, MAD 1, BDM, business data management. Okay, nice. Would you like to mention any of the professor or instructor?
Of course. I actually reached out to Professor Andrew Thangraj,
Okay.
and I told him that my paper got published in AA, and it was mainly a grateful message. Just send out a message on LinkedIn. Thank you for giving access to the ecosystem, and thank you for managing the degree, everything. And he'd sent out a message saying that we'd love to feature this on our social media platforms.
Yeah.
Do you want to, are you okay with it? We gave the details, and we're here right now. So yeah, I think that's the main, obviously everyone in the degree. I've met Bharati ma'am, I've met, Kodai ma'am, I've met a lot of the PODs, a lot of the professors also. I met Balaji sir.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think particularly in this context, I think Andrew sir also helped a lot. So yeah.
Great. And actually, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so any memorable moment you had, like you must have been to Paradox or something. So any memorable moment you have that you want to share with this degree?
I mean, of course, I have been to Paradox, and there's a lot of hackathons happening, and I think I actually hired from this degree's placement cell.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've interviewed hundreds, hired 3 or 4.
Okay.
And they're, first of all, great candidates. And we have some of them working with us right now in our office. So I think that I met some of them through the events conducted here, Paradox, through the industry events conducted here, hackathons conducted here. So that's, I think, a memorable moment, as in, for me, it's more related to, I was involved in Paradox as well a few years ago.
Yes.
So I think those were pretty fun moments, I would say. Less memorable, but fun. But yeah, I think the BS degree, I think what it does is it gives people access to the campus, it gives people access to others who are like-minded. I think that is the most important thing that I've that I can say about the BS degree program.
Okay, yeah. Also, like Paradox is all about fun as well as learning also. It's a 4-day, is like a wow. Yeah. Okay, Abu, like if you want to mention anything from your side, you can.
Okay, yeah. I think the question that you asked about starting off with independent research, I think to start off with, I think I can give some idea about how students can apart from the things that I mentioned. I think in 2026, you're going to see a lot of, with regard to AI research, you're going to see a lot of growth in, first of all, memory management, state management, and context engineering. So these are all very, very, I think, the example that everyone gives is Jarvis from Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
This is why I love it. If you want to know what is going to be the next future, go watch a movie, go read a book, right?
Yes.
Isaac Asimov declared what it means to be a robot 50 years ago. And, Iron Man declared what it means to have an AI sitting next to you, sitting next to you 10, 15 years ago. So, research the inevitable. Okay, so there are something that will be inevitably needed in the future. Research those things. 2026 is you're going to have a lot of context engineering problems, memory management, state management. Another thing is cryptography. I think AI has gotten too good to a point where a lot of our systems are unprotected. and we're gonna have a lot of work related to cryptography to be done. So think to just giving them some ideas about how they can start their independent research.
Yes.
None of these require a lab, by the way. No, you just need Python and coffee, and you're good.
And
You're set.
have to
Yeah.
study
Just like to research something, publish, and you don't need to publish in like a, just publish an archive and share it with, on a LinkedIn, share it on your Twitter, right? That's step one, done. Get that over with. Go to poster presentations, go to paper presentations, and get an idea of what kind of research they're doing, and be highly agent and highly independent. There you go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abu.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank
it was a great learning, and yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to you all also for watching this video till now.
Thanks for having me on. Thank
Yeah.
you. You are great.
Yeah.